The wind howled outside the old restaurant, rattling the frosted windows as if urging the world to listen to something long forgotten. Inside, amid the flickering fluorescent lights and the scent of boiling broth, stood James Holloway, a tall, broad-shouldered man with tired eyes and a heart that no longer believed in second chances. He was a former chef-turned-restaurant owner in a quiet Midwestern town, where the winters were long, and people kept their secrets buried deeper than the snow. James had seen better days. His once thriving fine dining restaurant, Holloway's Hearth, was now a modest, half-filled diner serving hearty soups and sandwiches to truck drivers and lonely souls. Life hadn't been fair, but he'd stopped complaining. After all, who would listen? That's when she walked in. Her coat was 2 sizes too big. Her shoes were soaked, worn out, and mismatched. She couldn't have been older than 19. Her dark eyes scanned the room like a hunted deer, alert yet weary. She handed James a handwritten note, "I need work. I can clean. I can cook. I won't be trouble. I am mute." James studied her for a long moment. The kitchen was short-staffed. He didn't need another problem. But something in the girl's eyes, something he couldn't place, pierced through his indifference. He gave a reluctant nod and led her to the back. "We'll try it for a week," he said. "You get meals and a small wage." She bowed her head in gratitude and disappeared into the kitchen like a ghost finding refuge. Days turned into weeks. The girl, who wrote her name as Lena, became an unseen force of magic in the kitchen. Pots sparkled. Dishes were ready before they were ordered. Her hands moved with a kind of silent poetry that soothed even the crankiest of customers. And she never missed a single shift, never made a sound. But James noticed other things, too. The way she flinched when loud noises erupted. The way her eyes watered when someone spoke kindly to her. The way she lingered by the window every night, as if waiting for someone who never came. He tried to ask questions, but she always responded with notes, each more vague than the last. One night, during a snowstorm, James stayed late, cleaning the counters while Lena finished mopping the floor. He noticed a torn photograph slip from her coat pocket. When he picked it up, his heart stopped. It was him. The photo was old, faded. But unmistakably him, holding a baby girl in his arms, wrapped in a pink blanket. "Where did you get this?" he asked, the words trembling from his mouth. Lena didn't move. Her eyes shimmered with something ancient, pain, memory, betrayal. And then, for the first time, she spoke. Her voice was cracked, dry, and trembling. But the words were clear. "You left me." James staggered back as if struck. "What?" "I am Lena Holloway," she said, voice shaking with every syllable. "Your daughter." The silence that followed was louder than thunder. James felt the walls of his heart crash around him. "No, no, that's not possible," he stammered. Lena reached into her coat and pulled out a birth certificate, faded but official. His name was on it. Her mother's name, Marie Torres. Marie. James hadn't heard that name in 20 years. She was the love he lost in college. He never knew she was pregnant. She had vanished, and he, young and foolish, assumed she had moved on. "I tried to find you," Lena continued. "But Mom never told me until she was dying. Then I had nothing. I ran away from foster care. I followed what little I had, your photo, your name, this place." James couldn't hold back the tears. The girl who had silently scrubbed his pans, cleaned his floors, and healed his restaurant was his own child, abandoned by life, by fate, and unknowingly by him. He fell to his knees before her. "I didn't know. I swear to you, Lena, I didn't know." Lena sobbed, the dam of her years of silence breaking. She collapsed into his arms, the embrace awkward and trembling but real, so heartbreakingly real. The next few days were a blur. James couldn't eat or sleep without wondering how he'd missed so much, how the universe had brought her back to him in the most silent way possible. And Lena, though still guarded, began to let the world in, little by little. He took her to the doctor, got her a new coat, bought books on how to reconnect with estranged children. She smiled for the first time that week, a small, shy smile, but a start. And as word spread in the town about the girl who found her father through silence, customers started to come back. Not for the food, but for the story. The story of redemption. The story of a mute girl who only spoke to say the words that saved them both. Weeks turned into months. James turned the diner into a community kitchen on weekends, inspired by Lena's resilience. They served free meals to the homeless, started a food drive, and slowly, Holloway's Hearth became a symbol, not of fine dining, but of second chances. One evening, Lena stood at the counter, watching a little boy color on a napkin. James came up behind her. "You okay?" She nodded. Then paused. "Dad?" He looked at her, his heart tightening at the sound of that word. "Yeah. Thank you, for not turning me away." He placed his hand over hers. "No, baby girl. Thank you for finding me." And in that humble diner, amidst clattering spoons and warm soup, a new story began, not of silence, but of healing. Because sometimes, it only takes a whisper to break years of pain. And sometimes, it's the quietest voices that carry the loudest truths.